Hi, and welcome back to the channel. We are continuing Attack on Titan. This is season 3, episode 11. And it sort of seems like right now, where we are in the story, that we've come to a point where we wrap something up with the whole Rais family and the attack there at all the districts, all the things they did, Historia becoming the queen. And then the previous episode ended on that little stinger there with Rainer and Bertolt and the monkey and whoever is inside of the monkey. And there's like 2 episodes left, and there's like part 1 of season 3. So these 2 episodes, are they going to be setting up what we're going to see in part 2, or is there more to this story that we've been dealing with in part 1 so far? It's really damn intriguing, and I am also very intrigued about getting back into things with Rainer and Bertolt and the monkey and everything that's going on with that side of things. But do you have anything you want to say before we start this one?
Nope.
All right, well then let's just jump into it. And you can of course always check out our full-length reactions where you can sync up the footage with your own copy of the episode. We also have early reactions for Attack on Titan at the moment, where we are several episodes ahead compared to here on YouTube. It's all over on Patreon, and the link is down in the description below. And here we go. Bystander.
なんか
思ってた女王と違うな。
王冠かぶったのが2ヶ月前か。
2 months. Okay, so we have a time jump as well.
巷でなんて言われてるか知ってる？牛飼いの女神様だって。もちろん親しみを込めてね。
これじゃトロスト区を塞いだやつのことなんか誰も覚えてねえよ。おい。
地下街から壁の端まで孤児や困窮者を集めて面倒を見る。これには地下街出身の兵長の後押しもあったらしい。
Oh, that's amazing.
That's how you lead, man.
Mm-hmm.
またサボってる。
あいつなんか
Get to work.
俺の母ちゃんに似てきた。
女神様。
Well, she can boss everyone around now.
ライナーとベルトルトともう一度会うことになるとしたら。
奴らは殺さなきゃならない。
You sure though?
最近は地下街にいた子たちも笑うようになったの。
お前は立派だよ。
そんなこと。
あの時は人類なんか滅べばいいとか言ってたのにな。
あれは勢い余っただけだから。
Hi, Mikasa.
貸して。エレンは実験で疲れてる。
だから俺を年寄りみたいに扱うのはやめろ。
Still a little spunk left in him.
地下空間で発見された光る鉱石など
Oh.
得たものも多かった。そしてエレンの硬質化の能力はとある対巨人兵器を誕生させた。
今だ。
Oh, nice. Getting carried away a little bit.
俺が疲れたくらいなんだって言うんですか。早く武器を揃えていきましょう。志願しなくに。
A lot has happened in those 2 months.
Yeah.
何が嬉しくて今さら調査兵なんかになったんだか。
Oh, he became a scout. Of course.
止められたりしなかったんですか？
ヒッチがなぜだ。
なぜって二人はもうじゃないですか？
ヒッチには向いてないだとか生きがるなだとか散々なじられたよ。少しは見直してたんだから見損なったって言ってやったよ。
マルロはバカなの。
You stupid, yeah.
カッパ野郎ですね。
なんだよ、マルロは間違ってないだろ。確かにお前ら変わったよな。
They've been through some shit.
一体何があったんだ。
聞きたいか。
How much time you have?
Yeah,
いや、また今度にするよ。
it's not the time for a recap.
Nope.
明日は調整日だから朝から俺の村に帰ろうと思って。
Oh, it's village. Right.
コニーのお母さんを元に戻す方法決してないわけじゃないんですよね。これから巨人の解明が進んでいけばいつかは。
いろいろあってうやむやになってたけど、俺たちが戦ってる敵は何なんだろうな。つまり巨人ってのは悪夢にうなされ続ける人間ってことなのか。
Yeah.
まだパンとスープが残ってるでしょ。おしゃべりは食べ終わってからにしなさい。
She's really just mothering him right now.
Smothering him.
Yeah, that too.
見たんだろ？洞窟で記憶を掘り返された時、親父さんと会っていた調査兵団の男ってやつを。
Oh, what?
そもそもあの男は俺もどっかで見たことあるはずなんだ。
頭をどこかにぶつけてみては。
そうだぞお前。思い出すためだっつってヒストリアの手ばっか握りやがって。教官の頭突きでも食らえばいいんだよ。
Wait, was it him?
Oh.
Oh, he was the commander back then, the guy from like the very first episode.
We knew that he knew Grisha.
That's right. He's still
シャ
there.
ディス教官。
Cool. Essentially a Titan smasher.
みんな見違えるように変わった。
Hmm.
ウォールマリア奪還を目前に控えた我々が今ここに詰め寄る理由を察しておいででしょうか。
Can you?
エレン、お前は母親とよく似ているな。だが、その瞳の奥に宿す牙は父親そのものだ。何も知らない。結論から言えばな。
Just
だが、人類の理にはなり得ない話でよければ聞いてくれ。傍観者に過ぎない。私の思い出話。
oh, bystander. Okay.
20年前、ウォールマリア。
20.
志願しなく壁門の目前に彼はいた。
あなたたちこそ壁の外で何を？まさか戦っているのか？
彼はなぜ壁の外にいるのか覚えていなかった。
わざわざ壁の外をうろつくバカがお前ら調査兵団以外にいるわけねえのによ。とにかく被害者がいるわけでもねえし、上への報告はなしだ。いいな。
ここからどこに帰るつもりだ？グリシャ・イエーガー。
私は医者だ。病院を紹介してくれ。できる仕事があるはずだ。
So this is after he killed the Rice family?
No.
彼は本当に何も知らなかった。この世界のことを。何も。
少なくとも巨人に怯えて生きているわけではない。
Ah. Is that
飯と酒にありつければそれで満足な部類の人間らしい。世界がどれだけ広いかなんて考えたこともない。
あなたが壁の外へ出ていく理由はそれか？
バカみたいか？
あなたたちはこの壁の誰よりも賢く勇気がある。人類の誇りそのものだ。
Well,
誇り我々が
ちょっとキースさん、また調査兵団の勧誘かい？
違うぞカルラ。私は。
いや、私なんぞに務まるものではないでしょう。選ばれし者でないと。
選ばれし者。そんなことを言われたのは初めてだった。私が団長にさえなれば成果は出せる。やがて皆が私を認める。
oh, he was in love with Aaron's mom.
彼らも例の伝染病だ。
奥のベッドに。
私の両親も。
大丈夫。みんな助かるよ。
イエーガー先生、家内が起き上がりました。
イエーガー先生、ありがとうございます。
調査兵団団長に任命する。
おめでとうイエーガー先生。
Wow. He's the one going outside the walls, but everyone is clapping for this doctor who just showed up out of nowhere while he's seeing his people die around him every time he goes outside the walls.
でもエルヴィンの分隊はまだ死人を出してないんだって。
団長変えちまえばいいのにね。
特別な選ばれし者。
キースさん。
there he is?
Little Aaron.
やっぱり頼りは届いてなかったんですね。夫も心配してました。
ああ、すまない。
Yep. Kids in here.
なぜ凡人は何もせず死ぬまで生きていられるかわかるか。ただクソを垂らしただけの人生を恥じることもない。手当たり次第男に愛想を振りまき酒をついで回るしか取り柄のないものなんぞには決して。凡人は何も成し遂げなかった。特別な人間はいる。ただそれが自分ではなかったというだけのこと。
Wow, I feel really bad for Keith.
志願しなきが壊滅したらしい。キース。思い出した。お前だったな。
Dude.
母さんが巨人に食われた。
母さんの仇をお前にはできる。行くぞ。ついてこないでくれ。
待て、また人に呪いをかけるのか。
この子はあんたとは違う。私の子だ。どうか頼む。関わらないでくれ。
雷。そして私は気絶していたお前を避難所の寝床に戻した。
Whoa. And then he had the key. Okay. Bridging some gaps here. He truly was a bystander for a lot of it.
そんな幼稚な理由でここにいる。
よせ、ハンジ。
あんたの劣等感なんかどうでもいい。現実から逃げるな。
やめてください、ハンジさん。教官の言う通り、俺は特別でも何でもなかった。ただ、特別な父親の息子だった。
お前の母さんは、彼らはこう言っていた。
特別じゃなきゃいけないんですか？少なくともこの子は偉大になんてならなくてもいい。だからこの子はもう偉いんです。この世界に生まれてきてくれたんだから。
Yeah. Yeah. I was just about to say that it was probably him who fucked with them. Yeah.
何一つ変えることはできない。
Yeah, that's a mystery, like all the way from the start of season 1 that we didn't get sort of answered, resolved until now.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Preview, yeah. No previews.
Yeah, don't want to watch the preview. All right, good. Yeah. That was the story of the bystander, a person we already knew. Just had no idea he was so involved in a lot of it, besides the fact that he did say that he knew Grisha.
Yeah.
When we met him the first time. So the really intriguing episode, actually. I thought they were maybe gonna just dive straight into the whole Rainer Berthold stuff, but I'm really glad that we got this look into the past with the bystander being Keith here. I don't remember his last name. I'm sorry. Shadis, something like that. The guy who we previously referred to as just like drill sergeant type from early on at the camp when they were still cadets, and we knew there was something there, as just mentioned, with him knowing Grisha, and then we also got to know why Aaron skier back then, what was really wrong and why he did it, and like it was a really sad story about him, like his character, and how much he's been involved in things, but again, as the bystander, sort of, even though he was the commander of the scouts.
Yeah.
But he was just more or less, like he at least knew like further back that he could do a better job than the one who was a commander before him, but then he started losing a lot of people and just throwing men at the problem. And yeah, kind of just resigned. It was like, I'm not special, and like I'm the commander of the scouts, and we're supposed to be these heroes who go outside the walls and really try to change things, but nothing is changing and no one's really noticing either way, at least not the good we're trying to do. No one's definitely like applauding me or what the scouts are doing. On the other hand, they're applauding this doctor guy who just showed up out of nowhere and married the woman that I was actually sort of in love with. So again, just sad character trajectory, sad character journey there for him. and ending up sort of as a bitter, resigned man who just didn't feel special. But I also like the whole thing about, special. What does that mean?
Yeah, and it's why isn't it okay to be normal? I know, like, there's a lot of people who are just fighting each and every day to just stand out and be special. And then there are other people, no names, but other people who are fighting or have been fighting their whole lives to become somewhat normal. Like, they are struggling with things.
Okay, yeah.
Struggles in their past, or they have struggles like mental disorders, or they are disabled in a way that, yes, so they have to, so they're fighting a lot to just feel normal in a way, like they're doing everything they can to lead a normal life, and just, it's not, this is such a some people are just making normal out to be such a bad word, and
or making special out to be such a unique like a thing, or something you want to achieve, or that's the only way that your life can have any meaning, if you are special in some way, or if you do something where people will notice you, or the world will notice you, and you kind of set your mark on history, or whatever it is. But I really like the sentiment from Carla. Yeah. Aaron's mom. We're all born into this world, and we're all equal in that way. We all just, like, you're just as special as anyone else. You're also just as normal as anyone else. Like, we're all just a part of this world. And I like that sentiment as well.
Absolutely.
But as I said, this one really, it bridged some gaps that we had inside of the story, and with what happened, and especially with, like, when did Grisha, get a hold of Eren again, like, after what happened to the mom, and when did he, inject him, and when did Eren turn into a Titan and eat Grisha, and, like, how and when did that all happen?
Yeah.
And we certainly got it in this one, and Keith really, like, helped out with that. So
and we also learned about Grisha, that he came from basically nowhere. Or, well, he came from outside the wall. Is he from the same kind of hometown than certain other people?
I am starting to think that yes, something happened, I don't know if something went wrong or something went right, or however you want to phrase it, but he ended up outside the walls there, and he didn't remember how or why he got there.
I think we've seen this before, right? That people get memory loss when they have been turned into a Titan. And when they turn back, they don't know who they are, where they come from. They don't remember stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe he was turned at that point, he was turned into a Titan, and might have been wandering around just like Ymir did for
a long while.
Maybe, like, we don't know, because it's mysterious, but it's like there's just some, there's some interesting things about his past. Also, the way that they knew, Bertolt and Rainer, they knew that the coordinate was somewhere in the city, right? How would they know? Let's say that the coordinate was with Grisha all along. And that's like, they knew he was somewhere around town. Because they only came to town around the breaking of the wall, right? That was the first time they came to town. So they might have been looking for Grisha as, like,
for a while.
Yeah, but he was not really there to be seen, right? And he disappeared quite
like, it was
recently after the whole wall thing, right? He was kind of gone. He was gone for that, and then he kind of turned back, because that's when we saw that Eren and the kids, they just suddenly they were there, right?
I don't know where are we now?
We just saw it. Like, he was standing.
Okay. So let's put some numbers on it. 20 years ago, he showed up outside the walls.
Yeah.
No one knew where he came from. And then 15 years later, the wall gets breached.
Yeah.
And everything happens there. And we don't know where he is when the walls are breached, or if he's just at his clinic, or where. I think that's where he said he was going, or something in that first episode. But we don't know where he went.
Did he take a ferry or something?
I don't like. He can't have been like far away.
No.
Because he got back quickly after, and then what we saw in this episode happened.
Yeah, but what I mean is that he was not there when it happened.
No, that's true.
But he was closely enough by so that when everything kind of calmed down a little, he found
Eren and Mikasa and Armin, and together with Keith did what we saw.
We saw.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if this is confirmed yet, but I feel like Bertolt and Rainer and Annie, they haven't been to the city before the breach of the wall. Really? We saw them as kids standing in a line waiting for food.
Yeah. Oh, well, we didn't necessarily notice it back
then.
No,
but
someone told us about that.
Yeah, that was not the point.
Yeah.
The point was that if they've only come to town there, and they were looking for Grisha because that was who they were told to look for, and because they were told he's the coordinate.
Yeah.
But they never saw him because he was away when it happened, and then shortly after he went to Eren, and then they got the whole with him being turned and eating and everything.
And we don't know when he did the whole thing with the Rice family.
No.
If that was...
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's probably nothing then.
What is?
My theory is probably nothing then.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know that. I just thought that you were like trying to get like an overview of events, so to say. I didn't know that you were heading towards a certain theory. Did I ruin that?
I guess you just pointed out that it was wrong, so I'm just gonna...
Oh, so sorry. I didn't know what your theory was. Was it the whole thing with the Rice family? That
No, everything I said. Like him coming from the hometown of Bertolt and Rainer and Annie.
Yeah.
And that he was basically the coordinate before, and then all of that. But I'm just trying to explain why I thought it was a thing. But apparently it's not a thing because he hadn't aided the Rice family at that point yet. So.
Oh, but we don't know if the coordinate, if that's something that Frida had, or Frida just had those abilities to do the mind control, the mind erase thing, memory wipe, that power, and the founding Titan power. And then you also have the coordinate that can actually control Titans. So I think like there are different powers. So he could have just as easily have had the coordinate, and that was something that they did have before from that faction, with Rainer and Bertolt, even though I'm pretty sure they weren't alive back then when...
No, but the people in, like, the parents and the people in the hometown.
Yeah, sorry, it's just we don't have any names for them.
No,
but I think like you can definitely be onto something, definitely. And my question is just like, okay, so he showed up 20 years ago, and then it was 15 years before the wall got attacked. So it was like we have a 15-year period there where they don't know where he went or where he is, and if he did take this coordinate or whatever happened. But yeah, they just weren't able to find him for 15, or did it take them 15 years to figure out where he went, or did they have to wait for like the opportune moment to strike, or
and also
develop their Titan weapons?
Yeah, exactly, and also that they never, if they knew that specifically Grisha was the one who was the coordinate, and that's why since they never met him, and they probably never knew that it was Eren's father, then they wouldn't know that it was given to Eren, and that's why they were like, oh, why did it have to be him? Kind of like, so that's why it was kind of a shock for them that it was him having that he had the coordinate, or is the coordinate.
So there's a lot there. Now we have some more information, but again, as usual, there's a lot.
Questions.
Yeah, a lot of questions, a lot of stuff we don't know, but we're trying to connect those dots at least, and we might be like completely off the mark here with like where Grisha really comes from, but just from what we know and what we've seen up until this point, that seems like maybe as a it could be a theory at least. But we also got into some other stuff inside of this episode, but besides
like a huge
some of
time
the
jump, or like
2 months,
Yeah.
but a lot happened in those 2 months, and Historia doing some really great things as the queen and focusing a lot on these people who really need help, all the orphans, all the children, the people from the underground, and coordinating that with Levi, and of course it also meant a lot to him. So that was just really nice to see. And then Eren has been working his ass off with that hardening ability. They've figured out a new way with that smash thing to take out Titans. Hanji is getting very excited about stuff like that. So yeah, it was just a lot of cool stuff. Just besides, the intriguing going into the past stuff that we already talked about. And now there's again like one episode left of this part, and I'm sure it's just gonna leave us like even more like what's going on and questions, but hopefully it's also gonna like lead us into the second part of season 3, which I'm so excited to like get into. But do you have anything else you want to add to this one? Yeah,
I've always been drawn to at least the thought of tragic people, like who has led a tragic life in a way that maybe something never happens, or they are always miserable, or stuff like that, where it's like you're so clearly not a main character in a story, like I feel like most people have this feeling that they are a main character in their own story, right? But some people lead some tragic, uneventful lives, and we never see, almost never get to hear those stories, right?
Yeah, the bystanders.
The bystanders, the ones who are,
the one who didn't get the girl, kind of that thing, right?
People who are suffering from this inferiority complex, and the way that he was like, well, he couldn't be inside the walls because he had to feel this like sort of like freedom, or he felt caged in some way behind walls. I think there was a little. I know I'm paraphrasing, but I feel like that was a little bit what I got out from his talk with Grisha. But maybe it's also that he tried to cover up the feeling that he felt inferior, that he wanted to. Some people, they're so insecure about themselves and their role in life that they have to put others down to make themselves rise up, right? So he had to blame someone.
Yeah, blame something, or he just didn't want to be around people, look people in the eye, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then this guy comes along, and he even though Grisha was all the time, he was like, well, I'm no hero, and I'm basically a nobody.
Yeah.
I'm just.
And he said to Keith, like, you're the hero, like,
Exactly.
You're the scouts, you're the ones who are like really doing things here.
Exactly, and yet he still turned it around against Grisha and was like, well, you did all of this to me. You made me miserable.
Yes, and it's you're at fault, right? You're the reason why this woman who I was in love with for so long, that she's dead now. Because if she wasn't with you, like, you're the reason for everything that happened.
It's also my problem with Severus Snape from Harry Potter, that some people romanticize these people, where it's like, well, this is my girl kind of deal. Like, so some people feel like they have some sort of ownership over other people, where it's like,
and something got stolen from them.
Yeah, exactly. That it was like, something was taken away, and it's just like, well, these people, these particularly women, they are their own person. It's not even let's say that it was not Grisha, then it was somebody else, because she might definitely not have felt the same way about him, and she might never ever come to that point. So that it's just like, it's and if people romanticize, it's not romanticized here, and I'm very happy about that. But I do feel like, especially with Snape, it was romanticized a little bit.
Yeah,
to a degree where it's like, oof, I don't think this was.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
But I just wanted to applaud that we actually saw the bystander story here, and I've always thought about these people where it's like these, they're tragic in a way, but the way that they're basically normal. And I think that's also what I was trying to say before with like, he's probably struggling a lot with feeling normal, and a lot of his insecurities about not being able to actually step up and do something might have come out to like this, but you're just normal and I'm the one who's special and yada yada, where it's like, well, but what's so wrong with being normal, right? So that's what I meant, like you're trying to push people down to rise yourself. And it's just what we understand, because I think a lot of us have had those feelings. I think it's pretty human feelings, so it's very relatable, and I'm just applauding that they actually
creating these very real, relatable characters. Just like that. And I just thought of one last thing I want to say before we end. Another love triangle in a way, maybe, perhaps, I guess. Is there something there with like Historia and Eren? Because they made a little bit fun of Eren like holding hands with Historia all the time, and Historia sort of blushed a little bit when Eren said something at one point, and then boom, there's Mikasa ready to boss Eren around and be like, nope, stop carrying stuff around, and kind of like getting a wedge in between Eren and Historia. Because we know how Mikasa feel about her feelings towards Eren, so it's just it's something forming there, a potential little like sort of love triangle there between the three of them.
Yeah, potentially.
I don't know. It was just something I noticed.
I just thought that Historia might never be into him, but yeah, I can definitely see your point. So,
because we've like with Ymir in the past, it seems like maybe there was something between Historia and Ymir, but it's like Historia could easily be bi, or maybe it was just because she really liked Ymir as a person in that way and not in a romantic way. So, but
and
I don't know.
Not reciprocated,
yeah.
Reciprocated.
Yeah. we'll see. But I think that's gonna do it for this reaction and review of Attack on Titan season 3 episode 11. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.